So you guys already know I love being outside. I love the creation that God has made for us. There is so much out there to enjoy, and when it's not raining and the sun is out and they're absolutely beautiful days, it's an awesome place to be. This is a very close-up look of a tree in my backyard. You can see there are a ton of white flowers, just so much on this tree. But the reason I'm out here today is because it is filled with bees. I probably have at least 100. I could easily say without exaggeration that there are hundreds of bees in this tree. I don't know if you can hear the buzzing that is happening in there. And bees are just all over the place in this tree. And I look and say, this tree is a tree of opportunity for these bees. They're smelling, it's a very, very sweet smell, and they're smelling that, and they're involved in collecting everything that they can, all the nectar, all the pollen, moving things around. They are working so hard in this tree. It's a tree of opportunity. And I look at our world, and it's a place of opportunity. And God has called us to take those opportunities and to work in them and to work for Him in them and to continue to build His kingdom with the opportunities that He gives us, and to build ourselves, think of ourselves in the midst of that kingdom. This week I made a decision, and there's a lot of things going on. And the next night, after everything is done, decisions made, then I wake up in the middle of the night, and you know what it's like. You've done something, and all of a sudden you're wide awake. And for me, what happens to me is I start thinking about everything, and I think about all the possibilities, all the places where things can go right, all the places where things can go wrong. And I was really anxious. I want to go back to sleep. And I'm saying, Lord, just help me go back to sleep and give me the peace that I need. Because Colossians 3 actually talks about having our heart in a heart of peace, and that God can give us that peace in our hearts. And so I'm just going through all these things. I can't shut my mind off. And then I stop and I think, what's really happening here? And I started to become more aware. It's not that anything had changed on the outside, it was all on the inside. And I realized really what I'm struggling with is my own insecurity. And that's what the struggle is, not about the circumstances, but my own insecurity in trying to figure these things out. And when I realized that really the struggle is not with the decision, with ramifications or anything else, the struggle is within myself, then I could give that to God. And I actually went to sleep. And so, as these bees are here in this tree, what I am calling today a tree of opportunity, I want us to be mindful of the opportunities that we have in everyday life. This is a phenomenon. This is everyday life for these bees. That God takes those everyday things, and when we think about them and we mull them over, fly around in that tree, find out all the little flowers, all the smells, get busy, take this opportunity, let God change our hearts. That's when transformation happens. That's when we become like Jesus Christ. That's when we can point to Him and say, look what He is doing in not just my life, in our lives, but in this world. And right now we are living in that world of uncertainty and turmoil. What can we learn about ourselves? To look at ourselves. What can I learn about who God wants me to be, and the struggles that I have, my own insecurities or whatever it is? We're all different. I'm not saying you need to be like me, you're not like me. But what is God using? What can He use in our lives to help us understand and then turn it over to Him and let Him transform our hearts and give us a peace that truly passes all human understanding, and becoming more and more living the image of Jesus Christ in our lives. So take these bees, take this tree, take this opportunity. Let God transform who you are as well. Have a great rest of the day.